Later on, Jesus showed himself again to the disciples. It was by the Sea of Tiberias, and it happened like this. Simon Peter, Thomas called the twin, Nathanael from Cana in Galilee, the sons of Zebedee, and 2 more of his disciples were together. Simon Peter said, "I'm going fishing." They replied, "We'll come with you." They went out and got into the boat, but caught nothing that night. It was light by now, and there stood Jesus on the shore, though the disciples did not realize it was Jesus. Jesus called out, "Have you caught anything, friends?" And when they answered no, he said, "Throw the net out to the starboard and you'll find something." So they dropped the net, and there were so many fish they could not haul it in. The disciple Jesus loved said to Peter, "It is the Lord." At these words, "It is the Lord," Simon Peter, who had practically nothing on, wrapped his cloak around him and jumped into the water. The other disciples came on in the boat, towing the net and the fish. They were only about 100 yards from the shore. As soon as they came ashore, they saw that there was some bread there, and a charcoal fire with fish cooking on it. Jesus said, "Bring some of the fish you've just caught." Simon Peter went aboard and dragged the net to the shore full of big fish, 153 of them. And in spite of there being so many, the net was not broken. Jesus said to them, "Come and have breakfast." None of the disciples was bold enough to ask, "Who are you?" They knew quite well it was the Lord. Jesus then stepped forward, took the bread and gave it to them, and the same with the fish. This was the 3rd time that Jesus showed himself to the disciples after rising from the dead. What a magnificent story of wonderful generosity. Jesus really outdoes himself. Here are these fishermen. They've been working all night and caught nothing, and we all know, those of us who go fishing, that sometimes fishing is a fruitless exercise. And Jesus just says, "Put your nets out on the other side, you'll get something." And for whatever reason, they decide to do it. And lo and behold, their nets are filled to overflowing. That would have been enough. But when they recognize him and in their eagerness go to him, Jesus offers them breakfast, bread and fish on a charcoal fire. Some years ago, I did an Easter retreat at Otaki Forks, north of Wellington. About 4 o'clock on Easter morning, we all got up, and in silence, with just one torch between 2 people, we went down a steep path to the river's edge. When we got to the river's edge, we watched the sun rise, and then eventually we listened to the readings of Easter. And when we came to this part, we lit a fire on the riverbed and cooked fish. It was the most amazing experience, and I will never forget it. It was as if Jesus was there in our midst, tending to us, caring for us, saying to us, "This is what I want you to do for others. I want you to be generous, to be loving, to be caring." And for me, this is the message of Easter. Jesus' death would have been enough, but his rising capped it all. It gives us hope, it gives us love, it gives us strength to persevere when times are difficult. So let's spend this week of post-Easter saying thank you, thank you, thank you. Gratefulness, after all, is the heart of prayer.